Hello and welcome back to FX Suite. Today we're going to be taking a look at a different type of analysis. We're going to be doing a different type of analysis, right? We're going to be taking a look at coins that have a lot of potential and they can trade in the coming week. So before we actually dive deep into how it's done and the nuances of it, I want to direct your attention to the FX Suite YouTube channel. If you enjoy watching the content that we put out, and if you want to stay updated to the hottest trends in the cryptocurrency market, please make sure to head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter at FXSCrypto, and you can also follow me on Twitter at Mangyako with a 0 at the end. So back to the screen, right? So this is a screen that I created, and the main things I'm going to be looking at is the daily active addresses, the MVRV 30-day, and the social volume. Right, so the daily active addresses indicates the number of addresses interacting with a particular coin and its blockchain. But if the daily active addresses spike, that means a lot of users are interacting with the blockchain and could represent a potential inflow of capital, right? And as for MVRV, this kind of gives you an idea of the number of the sentiment of the holders. Basically, if it's a negative value, then that means a lot of short-term holders are at a loss. And if so, the negative value doesn't necessarily mean a bearish outlook, because any move below minus 10% on a 30-day MVRV is often a place where long-term holders tend to accumulate. This was an experiment conducted by Sentiment. Right, so any negative minus 10 MVRV and below that is kind of considered as an opportunity zone where you could buy with relatively more safety, because there's less risk of a sell-off. So I'm going to be taking a look at daily active addresses and MVRV, and in some cases I'm going to be looking at social volume as well to get an idea of the retail sentiment. Right, so the coins that we're going to be looking at today is XinFin, which is XDC, and KuCoin, and TheGraph as well. Right, so for now these three have a good spike in the daily active addresses compared to the last day, right? But if you look at the MVRV, right, these two sound, or at least look, more appealing and interesting compared to XDC, because not a lot of holders are at a loss. So regardless, right, we're going to be taking a look at these three coins, right? So XDC, we opened it on Bitfinex and we're on the 1-day time frame, right? So if you look at where it's right now, it's a good support level, and the last few times the price came here, it bounced off of it, and none of the daily candlesticks closed below it. So this seems like a really good place for the price to reverse, and so far the price is right at 19% and it's pulled back quite a bit. So if you take a look at it from the 4 time frame, what I would do is use a fib. Actually, we're going to use a fib from here to here. Right, so it's currently bouncing off the 50 retracement level, which is the midpoint of this particular upswing. So what I would do is I would wait for the price to hit down here, which would be an optimal place to buy, and then for it to go higher. As for the targets, on a 1-day time frame, it looks much more interesting. So the last time this particular price swing, it moved above that and regressing above these highs over here. So the next highs that I'm looking at is the 0.0597. Right, so the 28th Feb swing high at 0.055, and the liquid regressing above that was collected. And now the next upswing, if we get a good dip at the 70.5 retracement level, I'm going to be longing XDC, or I'm going to buy spot XDC over here and we'll profit somewhere around here, which is a 22%, right? So you can either wait for it to head down to any of these three levels here, which is 62 retracement level, 70.5 retracement level, 79 retracement level. Any of these three levels would be a good place to buy, and we'll profit somewhere around here, which is 0.06, approximately a 22% gain. So yeah, I think it's really interesting that it's at this particular support level and that we're seeing a massive spike in daily active addresses. So that's pretty much it for XDC. So the next coin was KuCoin. Right, KuCoin already seems like it's extremely overbought, and right, so it's stock trading under this particular downtrend, and if you look at KCS from an on-chain perspective, the daily active addresses. This is a one-day daily active addresses. It's not showing that much of a pump compared to the other days spike in daily active addresses. But the thing that's interesting here is for KCS, the whale transactions, which is any transaction that's worth over $100,000, is spiking right now. And the last time that happened, it was somewhere between 19th Feb and 22nd Feb, after which the price rallied from roughly $17 to $20. Something similar took place here as well, where price rallied from $15 to $20 again. So combining the spike in daily active addresses with this whale transaction count kind of says that although this may look overbought, there is still a chance for it to go higher. So from a lower time frame, you can see KCS is forming equal lows around here. So I'm going to be waiting for the price to move lower, collect liquidity, and then make a run at this declining trend line, which is somewhere around 20, approximately 20. So this would necessarily be a 14% upswing that you're looking at. And the fact that the price is consolidating adds more credence to this explosive upswing that I'm expecting. So the next coin is GRT. There's not a lot of spike in terms of volume over transactions. The network growth isn't great as well. Right, but if you look at the MVRV, right, MVRV is recovering from minus 9.8% to minus 17%. And the 365 MVRV has been negative or like completely oversold since 16th December. Right, but another interesting that you look at, like if you're just taking a look at the rise in daily active addresses, you would have been bullish. But if you dive deeper, right, you can see the supply and exchanges for GRT has been stepping up, right, for quite some time. So it's increased from roughly 338 million to 679 million. That's roughly 200 million of GRT tokens being sent into the exchanges, right? So this is a telltale sign that the price is going to remain subdued for quite some time, right? And on top of that, you can see these exchange inflows are also spiking as well, which also indicates, kind of adds more credence to this selling pressure that is present on exchanges. So I wouldn't touch this coin with a 10-foot pole, considering the massive increase in supply on exchanges. So as you can see, currently the price is hovering inside this daily demand zone. Let me just work this out. Yeah, and the price is currently hovering inside this demand zone. And I'm not overly enthusiastic about this coin because I can literally see it breaching this demand zone if this supply and exchanges continues to increase. Yep. So this is, I'm not going to do anything unless we get like a nice pump and the price comes above this demand zone. Right, but there is a good chance we could probably go to 0.51 and collect liquidity resting above these equal highs present over here. This is where I believe the upside will be capped for GRT. We're not going to produce a higher high. We're just going to briefly spike above it. And that is a big if, right? And that if is if we do not shatter this demand zone or that we do not invalidate this demand zone, we're producing a daily candle close below it. So that's pretty much it for GRT and this new segment of analysis that we're going to do. So if you enjoyed this content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.